Another beautiful day to make some money and size into coin in this perfect descending channel. I sure can't wait for the open. And that, my friend, is why you need a side hustle, especially in a bear market. And on top of this, just generally slow bear market, if you are struggling as a trader because your emotions get in the way of trades, because your trade is so important to pay the rent, to pay for food, to pay for your life, then you definitely want to have some side hustles or additional streams of revenue. Luckily for you, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, because I want you to take your emotions out of your trading and being at peace with your additional revenue. So here are 5 side hustles in order of what you can do younger age to an older age. And all of these I've done myself, and 2 of them I still do to this day because they're just so easy and it's crazy not to do it. First of all, dog walking. I know it sounds ridiculous, and I think my brother's gonna be laughing if he watches this video, because we used to walk our neighbor's dog all the time and she would give us loads of cash, way too much money, and we should have kept walking her dog and many other dogs because that cash flow helped bankroll a lot of our early parties. No, but in all seriousness, it gave us some liquidity, much needed when you're an early teenager and even younger. I think we were like in middle school at the time. Yeah, that's like early teenager. It was just so easy to do. This is actually a trend that kept on happening throughout high school. We had a lot of people in our neighborhood that would ask us, can you take care of the dog? Can you do this? Can you do that? And at the time, I think I was like saying like on 50% to yes, but I should have been saying 100% to them because they were paying quite generously. But I think this is one of the easiest things that anyone can do. This kind of falls into that babysitting category as well. So get creative. There's tons of things, not just walking dogs. You take care of cats. I've stayed at a place for free for 2 weeks once in New York City because I was taking care of somebody's single cat. How crazy is that? By the way, do you have a side hustle that you love? Post it in the comments below and I'll pin it right under this video. Side hustle number 2. And this is my only official job that I've ever had. And I'll categorize this as friends and family gigs. But basically what I did was I went to my friend's auction house. They owned an auction house and I was basically the delivery boy. At the end of the auction, I would go out, either deliver things, hand out things. It was just a lot of sorting. They actually paid me pretty decently hourly, but the real money was the tips. So that was really, really good. It was a little bit like maybe working in service industry where you get tips. And we have some traders in our Discord community that have also worked restaurant jobs that held them over before becoming full-time professional traders. And actually Tom from Try Trading, one of our community members, also has a YouTube channel. He is one of those. For me, one of the great things about this auction house job, as well as the walking dog job, they were usually at the end of the working day. Well, the auction was specifically on the weekend, so I didn't have to worry about working during the week. Sometimes I did come in there to help organize, to help prep, but it was very like not at a critical time, not like 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the market opens. So it gives you a lot of freedom to work maybe after the market opens, or depending on your time zone, before the market opens. Right now I'm in Berlin, which I usually am in the summertime. So for me, starting to trade is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm 6 hours ahead of New York City. And as you know, I'm always on at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before I get into number 3, 4, and 5, 2 of which that I still do to this day, notice how I didn't say anything about starting a YouTube channel. Why might you ask? And that is because starting a YouTube channel is a bit of a long-term game and it's gonna take a lot of energy. Now, I'm not saying don't start a YouTube channel. Go right ahead, start a YouTube channel about whatever you wanna do if you are prepared for that long-term game. In this video, I wanna focus on side hustles, and I don't really feel like YouTube is a side hustle. You either do it, you go all in, it takes a lot of energy, or you just don't do it at all, or you half-ass do it, but you're probably never gonna make money from it that way. So that's why I wouldn't say YouTube is a side hustle. It's actually a little bit like becoming a trader. You gotta take it serious. In the first 6 months, you're probably gonna see 0 results, and you might actually lose a bunch of money in buying equipment and time, so on and so forth. Just like with trading, you have a lot of red trades. So tip number 3, this might be a little bit more advanced. It's sell your skills. Now here's an example of what I used to do. Back in, I think it was high school. Yeah, it was high school. I don't remember what year, but I remember I was on Black Hat World and I was like, checking out gigs. How can I make money online? I was that kid. And woo, we had some fun projects back then. But one of my biggest projects that was just consistently paying me over and over again, I did web design for local businesses. Actually, one of them was even a dog breeding website. Wow, that's like a blast in the past. Did I walk her dogs too? I don't remember. Anyway, a lot of these gigs were very, very simple. They were like straight up WordPress sites. You could easily throw one up within, 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how much graphics or how many times they want to change something. So there's a lot of reiterations. But yeah, within 2 weeks, you could probably make between $1,000 and $3,000 just like that. It was really, really straightforward. If you have a little bit of web skills, very, very good to go with that. Sometimes I really miss those days, just how simple things were. Actually, look at this Twitter thread that I just stumbled upon a couple days ago, and I was like, this is beyond perfect. So here's John Davis, another entrepreneur I follow, and he said, my 17-year-old neighbor is making $4.2 thousand a month from his side hustle. I was like, what? And it takes him 3 hours a week. This is better than me. This makes my web design gig look like trash. Anyway, scroll down here. He says he's a tech-savvy teenager. I don't even think you need to be that tech-savvy for this, but hold on. He's basically the neighborhood geek squad, and it gets so much better. He does things around the neighborhood like setting up a new modem, figuring out why Sonos isn't working, which can take hours, so that makes a lot of sense. I've literally dealt with this before, and he's targeting older people that have a bunch of money, and honestly, they like company too. They like when younger people walk around. That sounds a little bit weird, but you know what I mean. And this is his revenue model, $99 a month, and he has 42 clients, so he's just waiting for calls, and he just stops by, and it looks like they mostly only call him in the evening between 6 and 9. Now, I don't need to read this thread forever, but you kind of get the point. Get a little bit creative, see what's out there, and actually, I'll tell you a good place to see what's out there if you want to do a little bit more of online as opposed to offline. But I gotta say, offline, guys, is really a gold mine. Online is oftentimes extra competitive because everyone's trying to do it online, but if you go offline, the world is your oyster sometimes. If you have some interest, but you don't really know what the job might be, here's a really good website, and I am not sponsored by this website. I just use it a lot myself to maybe figure out a job that you can do. It's called Upwork, and it's basically a freelancer site. Let's just say I am really passionate about TikTok, for example. Now, all of a sudden, here's a list of a bunch of people that do TikTok management or content creation or TikTok for companies that I can go ahead and hire, and you can become one of those people. I don't know how my girlfriend's gonna feel about me telling you guys this, but she is a freelancer, and right now she has 3 freelance gigs, basically jobs from Upwork, and she's slaying it. Like, I'm talking a couple thousand euros a month, which is pretty crazy. So guys, get creative. There is literally zero reason you could not get a quick job within a week and start making at least $1,000 a month. And you might have some pretty shitty jobs at first, especially when you have zero experience, zero referrals, so on and so forth. So you got to be okay doing the work that other people don't want to do. Topic number 4, and this one I absolutely love. I've been doing it since high school, and it works extremely well, and it's extremely passive. You almost don't have to do anything. The problem is it doesn't really work for most people, and that's because you need some sort of audience. This side hustle is affiliate marketing, and the reason I'm making it tip number 4 is because once you have a little bit of a side gig going, you might have some freelance jobs. You might be like that one guy who's doing Geek Squad for his whole neighborhood. At this point, you might have a product or service that you could recommend these other clients, so to say, and start getting commission, basically giving them something that they need anyway. What a lot of traders do is we recommend brokerage houses. People come up to me and ask, Alex, what broker should I use? And I'm like, well, what do you do? And they tell me what they do, and I recommend maybe the top 3 best brokers for their situation. Most of the time, the best one doesn't offer me anything in referral, but sometimes there is a good fit, like with Webull, which are right now literally offering like a dozen stocks. So if you guys are interested in actually becoming a trader, check out Webull. It's a pretty good platform. I still prefer TD Ameritrade, but Webull, I have an account there that is funded, and I occasionally use it. What I do like about Webull is the fact that you can trade the full extended hours. TD Ameritrade doesn't allow that, and I gotta say, sometimes that really does come in handy. The last thing that I have done consistently for quite a long time, pretty much since I've been living in Europe. At first, my apartment here had a guest room. What I did was I just Airbnb'd it out sometimes, and that was making me a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, like 70, 100 euros a night, and then a cleaning fee. And maybe if you live on some bigger property and you can make yourself like a little bit one of these cottages, you can give people like an outdoor experience. There's so many things you can do with Airbnb to make a little bit of a side revenue, a little side hustle. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's absolutely crazy. I personally, when I travel, We get a lot of Airbnbs. We usually don't go for this like crazy weird exotic stuff, but I mean look at this stuff. I mean, just get creative. I'm sure you could think of something, especially if you live on the land. There's a lot of city folk like myself that occasionally just want to absolutely get out, and we're like literally ready to sleep in a bush. The easiest thing to do is start getting feedback and then improve from there. That's really the best thing you can always do in every situation. Now, I no longer have a guest room. It's been converted into this office here, but what we do is when we go away for longer periods of time, like last time we were in America for, what was it? It was like 4 or 5 months, but we were gone a total of 7 months. It was ridiculous. We didn't use Airbnb this time, but we subletted our whole entire apartment, and we were making more money than we actually pay for rent. So it's a little crazy not to do it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit uncomfortable doing it at first, you know, people roaming around my house, but I gotta say, I almost own nothing really valuable besides like my laptop. Everything else is like pretty much in the cloud. Yes, also my NFTs. So my girlfriend convinced me, and I gotta say, I don't know if I can ever go back. Like, even if we live in a huge house one day and we're gone for a few weeks, like, it's not a bad deal. We have rented it out once before for like a long weekend. It was like a 3 or 4 day trip. We still made a nice chunk of change. It was like $400. We like really priced it high. I don't know if I would do that again. That was a lot of work because you gotta like really kind of put your stuff away and prepare the place. But I think anything over a week, boom, no brainer for sure. Then you could really feel the sun going down. I mean, it is like 6:30 right now in Berlin.
So Alex is just getting dressed. Do you like your outfit?
No.
Why not? You live in Berlin.
I don't want to leave the house. Can we take a cab? Oh my god, I'm being set up right now, guys. Don't listen to him. I love Berlin. I want to give you guys a bonus method for sticking around this long, and it's a little bit like starting a YouTube channel, so I think it's going to take a couple months to ease into it, but then it could really start paying out in multiple ways. And that's as simple as documenting all your trades, watch list lessons on tradejournal.co. Because as a trader, you're supposed to be documenting everything you do anyway, because that's how you learn. Now, just like YouTube, once you get enough subscribers, you can actually start monetizing your content by making it mentor content and part of the Fast Track program, and then you get a chunk of all the revenue that the Fast Track program makes. It's a totally free platform, just like YouTube, so there's absolutely no risk involved. There's something about making money from things that you do anyway, like the affiliate marketing or like the Airbnb, you own a house anyway. Those are always my favorite side hustles. Well, it still is a bear market and I've been taking a lot of days off, but I'm still averaging about $233 per working day these last few months, doing about 1 to 2 hours of actual day trading. If you want to learn more about what I do, here's a great follow-up video that I think you'll enjoy.